Assalamualaikum. My name is NUR'AIN binti Rahim. Nestle Malaysia Berhad is a Malaysian-based company with the slogan Good Food, Good Life and has produced products related to nutrition, health and wellness. Today, Nestle Malaysia Berhad operates 6 factories and have employed more than 5,000 employees nationwide and also producing over 500 halal certified products. Many of our key brands have now become a part of Malaysian household for generations, including Malaysian favorites such as Milo, Maggi, Nescafe, and Kit Kat. Nestle Malaysia Berhad can be categorized in the industrial sector whose activities include manufacturing, marketing and selling of nutrition, health and wellness products such as powder milk and drinks, liquid milk and juices, ice cream, instant coffee and other beverages, instant noodle and so on. Besides, Nestle Malaysia Berhad also have 3 subsidiaries. First, Nestle Products Sdn Berhad. Second, Nestle Manufacturing Malaysia Sdn Berhad. Third, Nestle ASEAN Malaysia Sdn Berhad. Nestle, almost 150 years pioneering nutrition and health. Nestle will date back to 1849 when an assistant pharmacy called Henry Nestle set up his laboratory in the small Swiss town of Lebe on the shore of Lake Geneva. In 1866, Nestle was established the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company, a Swiss company in Switzerland. It was here in 1867 that he developed the invention that was to make him world famous. To help nurture and indeed save the life of young babies, he created FAR570, the world's first infant food. Henry Nestle's prime concern was a healthy life for local newborn babies, but he realized that he could help even more mothers and their babies by exporting his successful new product to other countries. So in 1877, launched FAR570, which translates flour with milk, for consumption of infant food who cannot be breastfed to overcome high mortality rates. In 1922, Nestle started their business in Malaysia as the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company in Penang. After that, in 1939, due to the growth and expansion of the company, they made a move to Kuala Lumpur. What is management approach? Management approach are techniques that are used to direct and control an organization. Besides, Nestle lead the approach, motivate the staff fast and efficiently, and guide employees to contribute value to the firm rather than enforcing formal power. At Nestle, they believe in a comprehensive leadership style leading to winning, managing for results, growing talent and teams, and proactively competing and connecting with the external, which provide the competitive edge to create share value for our shareholder and for society. The factors considering segment reporting. First factor is the nature of the business and the product. Alright, so Nestle is now as the most multinational of the multinationals. The company is based on nutrition, health and also wellness. The company segment include food and beverages and other which include the nutrition and Nestle Professional. Its subsidiary include Nestle product in Berhad, which is engaged in marketing and sale of ice cream, powder milk and drinks, liquid, melon, instant coffee and other beverages, chocolate confectionery product, instant noodle and other related products. Next type of class customer. So Nestle had various stakeholders which are farmers, suppliers, rural community, entrepreneur, employees and other which are the key for Nestle to continue success. Okay, for the third factor is method of distribution. Nestle Malaysia Berhad expand across the nation with the head office currently located in Selangor and having established an extensive network of 44 located sales offices in Malaysia and Borneo. They are able to mobilize and they are dedicated team to reach the distributors and also customers. Types of segmenting report. First is demographic segment. Exponential height. The demographics comprise the customer segmentation of Nestle, which is based on age, gender, income or education. So, each Nestle company never offers the same product for different age groups. For instance, their first meal for children and coffee for adults, and for income lessly producing for this desperate money, even an ordinary man can buy their product. Also, they can produce their product in small quantities so that everyone can buy. Furthermore, the physiography segment is based on lifestyle and personality, but this Nestle KitKat is for people who want to taste the real chocolate and fullness cave-reaching. One is for people who do not have the time to eat. Lastly, the geographical segment, which grew under others and categorized as regionally and globally managed business. CODM stands for the Chief of Decision Making, which refers to the Nestle Malaysia Berhad. The Chief of Decision Making is identified to be the Executive Board, and the Chief Executive Officer of the company is Mr. Joan Aranons. The responsibility of the Chief of Decision Making: first, they should identify the existence of the managers. Second, they are responsible for their business activities. Therefore, for each operating segment, there will be a top management to manage. Third, they are responsible for establishing policies, guidelines, and strategic objectives, as well as providing leadership and direction for quality management. Nestle Malaysia Berhad responsible to make decisions regarding to education of sources, to resegment and to evaluate this performance, and for which discrete financial information is available.
The original segmental report by Nestle is using a profit or loss basis. So, we come out with our new segmental report by using revenue basis. Our segmental report consisting of 8 operating segments. After performing 10% threshold, found that there are 4 reportable segments and 4 non-reportable segments. Zone NA, Zone EUR, Zone AOA, Zone LATAM should be reported separately since the reported revenue, sales to extra customer plus intersection is 10% or more of the combined revenue of all operating segments. However, Zone GC, Nespresso, Nestle Health Science, and other trading does not classify as reportable segments. It does not meet 10% threshold and need to disclose as other segment categories. Next, another test must be performed, which is 75% of total revenue requirement. The formula is external revenue of reportable segments divided by total external revenue. The result shown that 84.62%, which exceed at least 75% requirement since the reportable segments are more than 75%. Therefore, no additional segment to be reported. So, this is new segmental report for Nestle. As shown in the table, there are 5 reportable segments, which are Zone NA, Zone EUR, Zone AOA, Zone LATAM, and others, which is Nespresso. New reportable segmental report is used revenue basis to measure the performance. Apart from that, we have discussed to allocate the other income and expenses such as depreciation, finance costs, finance income, other and unallocated expenses according to operating segments. Here is comparison between original segmental report and the new segmental report. The original segmental report is used profit or loss basis, and as in the original, they only have 5 operating segments, which are Zone ADENAN, Zone ANS, Zone AOA, Nespresso, and Nestle Health Science. While in the new segmental report, we found 5 operating segments, which is more details regarding to the geographic zone. And the reason why Nestle choose profit or loss basis to measure performance is because the management believe that such information is more relevant in evaluating the results of segments that operate within the group. For segment assets and liabilities are not regularly by the executive board. Hence, no disclosure made on segment assets and liabilities. Advantages of segment reporting. First, better understand the performance of operating segment reporting, permitting better assessment of the company's past performance and future prospects. Number 2, better assess the risk and returns of the company. Investors invest in a company, but a company is made of its different segments. And number 3, make more informed judgments about the company as a whole. Next, disadvantages of segmental reporting. First, there will be misunderstandings to be found among investors about segment information. Investors require information for the company as a whole for making proper decisions. Number 2, potential detriment to the company of disclosing information on above individual segments. Presenting the results of segment operating on operation to external users could lead to competitive damage. And thirdly, method of reporting into segment transaction are different for each organization.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti NURFARHANIS binti ADENAN and I will presenting for Part B Interim Report. First of all, what is Interim Report? An Interim Report is a set of company financial statement for the period shorter than financial year. Interim Report can be prepared monthly or quarterly when is it required to evaluate a company financial performance and position at any given time. Now, let's move to the answer for the first question. Nestle Malaysia Berhad use a discretion basis to prepare the interim report as the preparation of the report is quarterly, which is prepared in the separate period. It also has been prepared in accordance with applicable disclosure provision of listing requirement of Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad and FAR570 Interim Financial Reporting in Malaysia and International Financial Reporting Standard. They also do not include all the information required for the full annual financial statement and should be read in the conjunction with the consolidated financial statement of the group for the year ended 31st December 2021. There was no qualifying met on the preceding audited financial statement, and the group operation are affected by economic cycle and festive seasons. Next is the answer for second question. The same accounting policy should be applied for interim report as are applied in entities annual financial statement, except for accounting policy change made after the date of the most recent annual financial statement that are to be reflected in the next annual financial statement. One of the accounting policy used by Nestle Berhad is MFRS 16 leases. MFRS 16 required that lessee apply a right of use asset accounting approach that will recognize an asset on the lessee financial position, representing its right to use the leased asset over the lease term and recognize the corresponding liability to make a lease term. The second accounting policy used by Nestle Berhad is MFRS 116 property plant equipment. Property plant equipment are initially measured on their cost, subsequently measured either using cost or revaluation model, and depreciation of the attributable amount is allocated on systematic basis over its useful life. The principal be recognized in relation to them. Now let's move for the answer for the third question. The interim report is prepared quarterly starting from 1st January 2022 until 31st March 2022. An interim financial report should be included at a minimum the following components: a condensed financial position, a condensed statement of profit or loss, a condensed cash flow statement, and a selective explanatory notes that relate to accounting policy.
We choose to discuss the fourth quarter of the financial period, which ends on 31st December 2021. So, the first statement is Statement of Financial Position. The current report is as at 31st December 2021 and the comparative is as at 31st December 2020. The next statement is Statement of Cash Flow and Statement of Changes in Equity. For the current interim period, it is 12 months, which is start from January to December 2021, while for the comparative period, start from January to December 2020. The last statement is Statement of Profit or Loss and Other Comprehensive Income. The current interim period is 3 months, which is start from October to December 2021, while for the comparative period is from October to December 2020. The cumulative current interim period is 12 months, which is start from January to December 2021, while for the comparative period is from January to December 2020. Last year, on 1st January 2020, the company has incurred a motor vehicle amount of 600,000 ringgit and had a useful life of 10 years. Depreciation is computed based on a straight line basis over the estimated useful life of the asset. Since the asset is owned by the company for the entire financial year, the depreciation expense should be allocated throughout the quarters, and there will be expenses of 15,000 ringgit for each quarter. From the table, we can see that before the adjustment was made, the PPE as at 31st December 2021 is amounted to 1,534,268,000 ringgit. However, after the adjustment was made, the PPE as at 31st December 2021 became 1,534,253,000 ringgit. On 1st January 2021, the company took an insurance premium for their employees and paid in the first quarter. Since the insurance premium provides protection for the entire financial year, the company shall be recognized ratably over the 4 quarters by a deferment in prepayment. The total expenses for the insurance premium for the year 2021 is amounted to 2 million ringgit. Since the company should recognize ratably over the 4 quarters by a deferment in prepayment, the amount of 2 million ringgit should be allocated throughout the quarters, and there will be expenses of 500,000 ringgit for each quarter. When the expenses incurred, the retained earnings will be lower.
From the table, we can see that before the adjustment was made, the retained earnings as at 31st December 2021 amounted to 315,941,000 ringgit. However, after the adjustment made, the retained earnings as at 31st December 2021 became 315,441,000 ringgit. This adjustment was made after taking into consideration the expenses that incurred in the fourth quarter.